I called my boss to say I'd be late because a moose was giving birth in my driveway. She hung up and sent Hare to my house to fire me for lying. When you live in rural Maine, wildlife encounters are common: deer eating your garden, raccoons in your trash, expected, but a 1,000-pound moose using your driveway as a maternity ward. That's a first, even for me. It was a Tuesday morning in May when I stepped onto my front porch, travel mug in hand, ready for my commute to Portland, where I manage accounts at a marketing firm. Instead of a clear path to my car, I found a massive cow moose, legs splayed, making guttural noises that stopped me in my tracks. "Holy," I whispered, backing slowly toward my door. The moose's eyes rolled toward me, but she was clearly too preoccupied to charge. That's when I noticed the tiny hooves already emerging. I called my boss Diane immediately. She'd moved to Maine from Chicago just 6 months ago and still treated wildlife stories like urban legends. "I am going to be late," I explained. "To here's a moose giving birth in my driveway, Alexandra," she sighed, not bothering to hide her irritation. "We have the Johnson presentation at 9:30. You are the lead. Find a more believable excuse, or don't bother coming in at all." She hung up before I could respond. I stared at my phone, then back at the laboring moose, who had absolutely no concern for my career prospects. I did what any reasonable person would do. I started filming, narrating quietly as the calf slowly emerged, all gangly legs and wet fur. I sent the video to my team's group chat with the message: my literal excuse for being late. "Can someone please show Diane, my coworker?" Marcus responded immediately. Is that a whoeth?" 20 minutes later, I was still trapped on my porch when a game warden's truck pulled up, followed by Diane Simmed. My stomach dropped as she emerged with Patricia from HR. "We're here to collect company property," Patricia announced from the edge of my yard, refusing to look directly at me. "Diane has decided to terminate your employment due to your pattern of unreliability and dishonesty." The game warden, a bearded man named Mike, who'd responded to my wildlife service call, looked between us in confusion. "Ma'am, you might want to keep your voice down. Cow moose are extremely protective after birth." That's when Diane finally noticed what was happening just 30 feet away. The calf was now completely delivered, the mother moose attentively cleaning her newborn. Diane's face went through a fascinating series of expressions: disbelief, shock, embarrassment, and finally fear as the mother moose looked up at the commotion. "Everyone back to your vehicles," Mike instructed calmly. "Moose can charge at 35 miles per HR. They kill more people than bears in this state." We retreated to our respective cars. Through my windshield, I watched Patricia furiously whispering to Diane, occasionally gesturing toward me. 20 minutes later, the moose and her wobbly calf finally moved into the woods behind my house. Mike gave me the all clear and approached Diane's car. I couldn't hear their conversation, but I saw him pointing to various spots in my yard, clearly explaining moose behavior. Diane's face was a deeper shade of red than our company logo. Patricia approached me first. "Here has been a misunderstanding. Moosey, you are not terminated." "Obviously," I repeated. Diane couldn't quite meet my eyes. "I thought, well, it sounded unwonderful," I offered. "I am from Chicago," she said weakly, as if that explained everything. The next day, I found a gift basket on my desk with a stuffed moose and an apology card. But the real win came 2 weeks later when our company handbook was updated with a new section titled Wildlife Contingency Protocols for UL Employees. I am still at the same company 3 years later. Diane transferred back to Chicago last fall, and every May my team celebrates Moose Day by sharing our most unbelievable but true excuses for missing work. Sometimes nature forces corporate America to acknowledge there are things more important than the 9 to -5 grind parent like a miracle happening in your driveway that no HR manual could ever prepare for.